Hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are doing our Saturday sew along with our color burst throw. That is this pretty little pattern here. I already have everything laid out. We have row 1 and row 2 of our small inner block done. And now we are working on row 3. I am going to just get right on into it because I have 1 hour. And I don't know if my mic is going to last that long. And I'm pretty certain that my mic isn't going to. So we are just going to start sewing. How is everyone doing? I want to go on and get this going on. I know y'all are probably thinking, wow, 2 videos in one day, because the very first video that y'all probably got this morning was the one that was supposed to have been released last night, which I did release it after 9 p.m. It is still Friday, so what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just going on and getting the first 2 pieces done of each block and laying that third piece to the side, because I'm just trying to get some things done real quick, because like I said, I am on a time crunch right now. It is currently almost 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, Friday night, the night before you see this. I will have my grandbaby tomorrow. I thought I was going to be able to get up and record for you guys. I normally on Saturdays, sometimes I get up and I record Saturday morning, like at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm able to get the video out to you guys by 9 or 9:30. But yeah, I'm going to have grandbaby in the morning, or this morning when y'all see this, I will have the grandbaby. And he is a handful, guys. He is a handful. Now, I notice y'all probably notice you're still kind of in a different angle and all that. I'm still trying to figure out this. It's a single leg stand for my camera or my phone. I hold the phone in it. I can show you exactly what I did with my tripod. This is the piece that holds the phone right here. This is the piece that it swivels on. Well, apparently I thought I was loosening this up to swivel it. I was tightening it. Broke my tripod. So now it won't hold my phone. So I got to go get another one. But I wasn't doing it tonight. I should have done it when I was in town earlier. My parents and I went out and had dinner tonight. And I should have gone and got one then. But I didn't, because where I needed to go was just right up the road. And then after I talked to my husband, because I thought he had one, and he told me where it was supposed to be at, and that's not where it was at. So, he told me to go ahead and go buy one. But by then, they were closing in like 15 minutes, and it takes me more than that to get there. So I decided, well, we would just make this work for right now. That's what we're doing. And I'm hoping my mic is working, guys, because if it's not, I noticed I had it plugged and charging. But I noticed when I plugged it into my phone, it shows that it needs to be charged. So I don't know what's going on with that. I might not have got it pushed down all the way to charge it. So, you know, we may be having technical difficulties on my video tonight or today. I hope not. But I am hoping to at least, this is actually the last Saturday of the month. So I really would like to get the quilt done, but that's not going to happen. So we will flow over into May with this sew along as well. And y'all, that's not unusual. Most of our sew alongs do go longer than the 4 weeks, because you think about it, it's only an hour a week. And actually, it's like an hour and a half a week, but I don't bring you guys along for all of the ironing. So I think what we're going to do this weekend is just get this 3rd row done, and then the assembly of the small inner block. And then we'll work on the bigger block. But yeah, I'm guessing the weather has gone from us. I did see where Ryan Hall did go live earlier. But it looks like everything is over in Texas. So all of my viewers in Texas, guys, I'm keeping y'all in my thoughts and prayers, because it's never good when Ryan Hall showcases you. You know it's going to be something bad coming your way. But what we've been getting here is just a little drizzle, rain here and there. You know, we just get a little drizzle here and there, so it's not too bad. But now we're having to watch our outdoor animals, because alligators have been spotted. So we've had 2. We have determined, or I have, no one else has. I have determined the one that our neighbor on the other side of me than my sister, I don't think it would have gotten to where it was that fast, because there is not a ditch that connects that neighbor to where we live. And I can't imagine the alligator walking the road, because he literally was coming out of the road ditch. But let's say, kind of little things that's happened. I've been checking my garden. I've been getting a nice little handful of strawberries every few days. And y'all know I use my garden as my snack bin. I'll go out there and work in my garden a little bit. I really need to get my yard mowed. So, you know, a handful is perfect. I have me a little snack when I go work in my garden. But I need to get my grass mowed so bad. That's our biggest problem right now. I'm able to manage the weeds in the garden. They're not really doing anything. My potatoes are growing really well. I need to get another layer of, it's not compost, it's actually coconut husks. It's something new I'm trying this year. It's supposed to hold moisture, not supposed to have to water it as much. I'm probably going to put that on my tomatoes and potatoes this year, just to try it out. I really did not plant my second garden bed. I put some squash and zucchini in there, and either all the squash died or all the zucchini died, but one of them, all of them died. And right now, I have some kind of little worms. What did they call them? Somebody called them a certain type of worm. A web worm. And they have just about eaten every leaf off of my crabapple tree. So I went out there the other day and literally just sat there and started picking them off of my plants. Picking them off of the leaves. Because they're just about destroying it. And I can't have that because I have fought to have this crabapple tree. I love crabapples. I love crabapple jelly. I've never well, I have eaten a crabapple, but I'm guessing it probably wasn't right because it was a little tart. But that was a long time ago. But once I started making crabapple jelly, it's like, oh, that's all she wrote. That's the only kind of jelly I really like. Now, I like grape jelly, but jelly I want to make, crabapple jelly. It's my favorite. If I get to make jelly, I want crabapple jelly. I found one jar of it a couple years ago at a farmer's market, and I haven't found it since. I bought the one, but I haven't found it since. And I would love to be able to find some, or find somebody that has crab apples that I can go pick and make jelly. Not that I need the jelly, which I don't, maybe it's something telling me I shouldn't have it, but that is like literally my favorite jelly. And if I'm going to have homemade jelly, I would prefer that. Now, I have made muscadine jelly because I had some muscadines last year, or a couple years ago. I've made fig preserves. So now it's just I need some crab apples. I need some crabapple jelly. Okay, so now we have all of these done. We are going to go ahead and start assembling this center. It's a smaller block that's in a big block. So my first fabric is going to be this one. And what we will do is find the top and the bottom that goes with this. So I'm going to lay my blocks out to make sure everything is correct. Okay, yep, it looks correct. You do have seams that nest. And if you don't know what the nesting means, and I'm going to tell you, you're not dumb if you're new at this and don't know what nesting is. It's where two seams come together and they're pressed opposite directions. And when you put them together, they form just like a perfect, they just fit together like a groove. And that makes your points come out really nice. But never feel dumb if you're new and there's terminology that you're not familiar with. If I ever say something and you don't understand what I'm meaning, you can always email me. I do have my email address down in the description if you don't want to ask me just outright. But we have a fabulous community here in the sewing community. And everyone, I dare say everyone that watches would be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have, because like I said, we do have a great group here. And I just remembered I did not change out my needle. And y'all, I'm living on the wild side today because my bobbin is probably about to run out. If it hasn't already. I'll find out real quick like. Yeah, I'm sewing, so so what we're going to do is keep one stack of these to the side because we don't need both of them at the same time. Guys, it looks like I need to get a little bit faster. I need to get on the ball here because I am running out of time because I am trying to go to bed before midnight tonight. Because that grandbaby's going to have me wore out tomorrow. And my daughter, she's like, I can carry him to work with me if I have to. Absolutely not. That baby going to come see his Gigi tomorrow. He's probably not going to be happy about it, though, because his papa has been staying with them. And his papa is his favorite person in the whole wide world. Because his papa lets him get into stuff, and he calls it exploring. And I know, you know, he's a little boy, but he watches him. But I'm always afraid he's going to get hurt because things are just dangerous. Because kids put things in their mouths, and now, I mean, there's babies putting them little button batteries in their mouths. Oh, I've told my daughter about that. Because any toy that has a button battery in it, I told her, I said, you better make sure that is like super glued. And when the battery dies, just throw it away and buy another one if you have to have it. Because we are not changing out battery buttons. Because we are not risking having a battery button that falls out of a garbage bag or something while you're taking it out. And a baby, no, no, no. I'm not doing that. Okay. Does this one look right? Yeah, it does. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm erring on the side of caution right now because it's late and I know I could have easily messed something up. But I want to get this out for you guys so y'all have our sew along. And y'all, this color burst through, and it is actually, I don't know if it's the fabrics I've chosen, but wow, it's beautiful. And I only sew this, I know I repeat this every time we come together, but I only sew this with you guys on Saturday. I sew it once a week to record this video, and my video is probably about an hour and a half long, maybe. I kind of set a goal as to what I want to get done on a video, and this one is to have got that third row put together, and then to get the block assembled, you know, the small block assembled. We still have to assemble the large block, and then we will assemble the large blocks into the quilt. But this is the center of the block. And y'all, it looks like houses. And I know I said this last week, but somebody had posted something in Cotton Cuts about their block, and it looked like this little block that we're making right now. And when I did my flyaway clue, I only did clue 1. So I haven't done clue 2 or 3 yet, but I've only done clue 1. But when I did my flyaway clue, it didn't look like that, but I haven't done the other 2, so I don't know, and I really haven't looked at them. I actually have them sitting right here beside me. My brain skipped a second there. What would have been smart was if I actually had pinned them all together while I was waiting on my other video to export and upload. Now, it takes forever for that. Our internet service leaves a lot to be desired, and yes, we have Starlink. You can't get anything better than that here, and it's not real good here. I could have been pinning, well, I didn't have that third row done, so I couldn't have pinned anything. But pinning everything together would have been a good idea, because I could have done that off camera. Could have sewn that other one and I could have pinned these on together because that third one, I can't pin it on anyway until I have the first two done. Now the placement of the blocks, I may have to put these on the design wall to figure out the placement. And y'all, I'm going to have to do something different with the design wall because I have it on a room divider, you know, to kind of make it a stiffer surface. Well, it does work. That's stiffer. But the legs, it is a wall. And I have it in front of my AccuQuilt. Now, y'all have never seen the side of my room over here. That's where my computer desk is, my printers, and, well, printers, and things like that. Things like that are over there. And I'm thinking about, I have two of them sitting over here. Same exact desk. It's two of them. I just moved one of them out of one of my children's rooms. When we were using it as a long-term food storage, but now it's back to a bedroom. But I moved the computer desk and I've been using it for a shipping station. And I mean, it's literally right next to you. You could kind of see this desk, maybe. Every now and then I know y'all can see it. That second desk, I need to move it out and just have the one desk. And that's what I should do. And then turn my desk, or my sewing table, the opposite direction. So I can put my design wall behind me. And then move my desks to that side of the wall. And that way I can actually then set a webcam up. And I can have, you know, dual cams going on at the same time. Y'all, I have not been thinking about it. I'm supposed to be making sure I'm putting these with the right colors. I'm hoping I've been putting the right colors together because I have not been paying attention. But I'm going to have to do something for my design wall because I can't. It's in front of my AccuQuilt. And I think if I get rid of one of my desks, I could probably put my AccuQuilt over here under the window that's behind me. I could move that sewing table back over under the window. That's where it was before I moved it. And I can set the AccuQuilt there. Or I can set another table like I have here. Make an L-shaped table. And put the AccuQuilt under it when I'm not using it. And make a cutting station. Which would be way easier to do. I could cut my fabric back there. And that way I wouldn't have to move my machine around too much. Guys, I'm just brainstorming things right now to help me in here. I've got to get lots of stuff out of here. I really do. Right now, this works. It makes the most sense because I have my chair here and, you know, my chair for sewing and my chair for computer right here. So that's probably going to be our biggest challenge is the chair because I don't want another chair in here. There's not enough room for another chair in here. But eventually, the plan is to be out of here and in a sewing studio. But right now, with the possibility of a job loss, that is not even on the tables right now. We have to see what's happening. Okay, so we've got those done. I'm going to cut these apart and then we will add these others on. Yeah, my little sign did come back on for my bobbin. It's telling me it's low again. But that's okay. I wait until it runs out before I do anything about it. Okay, so now for the third row, we just turn the block upside down and do it the same exact way we did that first row. We're going to pin it to make sure our angles come together right. Once we get this done, we will press and we will be done. And that'll be about right. It looks like we'll be probably close to an hour at that time. But I will definitely have to do some servicing on my machine tonight and replacing the needle, because when I was sewing the block for the Fat Quarter Shop new quilt along, I ran over a pin. I do that all the time. That's why it normally sounds like it's click, 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 because I done hit a pin. I'm bad about that. But you know how I see it, they make more needles. I can buy more needles. I can buy more pins. But I like my points and stuff to come together real good. So that's why sometimes I sew over a pin. And sometimes my machine is great and goes right over it. It's just, today it come down right on it. It didn't step over it like sometimes it does. It came down on it instead of over it. But yeah, I wanted to get on some baby quilts today. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Maybe it'll happen after my grandbaby goes home after lunch, because his mom only works half a day. And I don't think his daddy will be in from work. His daddy works off. And he's working off right now. I don't think he'll be in before my daughter is. But it'd be great if he did come and get the baby early. But I know that's not going to happen. He's going to go play golf when he comes in or something like that. I understand he needs downtime and relaxation time too, but staying at home with a baby and working is a hard job. But I think for Easter they all three went golfing. And my grandbaby loved it. He was so excited about it because he got to drive the golf cart. Now, granted, y'all, he's only 14 months old, but he's an outdoors kid. He does not like to be in the house at all. He would much rather be outdoors. But the other night when I was over there, I had carried some burgers over there. My daughter, she's like, Mama, what's this? She cut on monster trucks. Not the cartoon, but the real monster trucks. Like a monster truck exhibit. And we have one of those here. We have a monster truck event at one of our, it's not the convention center, it's called the Ike Hamilton Center. And I mean, I've carried my kids to it when they were younger and they had a blast. So I'm guessing we're going to have to take him to it. But his daddy told her that even with the earmuffs on, that was pretty loud. So I don't know, guys. I keep checking my mic because if the light starts flashing, that means my bass went dead. And my bass should not have gone dead because it was plugged up before we got on this. Now, I notice I have not been checking to make sure the top and bottom pieces were lined up, but I may have been making a mistake not doing that. But I will check it, and if it's not being catching, then I will go back and fix it. But anyway, today when y'all are watching this, I'm hoping that I have energy to quilt or sew when the baby leaves. He has so much energy. I just don't know how. I don't know how my daughter gets through it. But, you know, I remember when they were little and they were the same exact way. Energy coming out their ears. And how I tended to it, I just let them be. Now, of course, I was the generation that my kids did not go outside like we did growing up, because where we were living when they were young was in town. No. And then when we moved out here, there was too many things that could get them. We had seen coyotes right in front of our house. We'd seen a black bear. Y'all see we have alligators. I was already a nervous mama for something happening to one of my children, because my son, as an infant, well, maybe not an infant, as a toddler, a very young toddler, he probably wasn't even 2, was snatched at a festival. And ever since then, I've had lots of trouble letting my children go places without me. Now, of course, I don't now, because they're grown. But when they were children, and I mean, it was like a festival. You know how people have watermelon festivals, peach festivals? Well, this was a catfish festival in a neighboring town. And my son, now, their father and I had already, my children's father and I had already divorced. He was with his grandmother, his dad's mother. And she was at a booth getting her goat soap. Was it goat soap? It was either that or her, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, she was getting soap. And she always purchased from this lady every year, you know, because this lady came to this, you know, festival and sold soap. It was either goat soap or glycerin soap. And she was standing there paying for her purchase. I might have already shared this on my channel once, but I've got new people. And my son was not feeling well, and as a possible 2-year-old, I don't think he was any older than that. If he was 2, he was standing there crying because they didn't carry his stroller, and he was crying. This worker of the festival sees a child standing there crying, no one holding his hand, and she grabs him up and goes running with him. Now, his grandmother, I mean, her health was not the greatest. She had, I mean, when their dad and I was together, she had like open heart surgery. So, you know, we don't want to stress the woman out, you know. And her sister was with her, which her sister had a prosthetic leg. And I don't know what the deal was with that. I don't know if it was diabetes. I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know what it was. But, which thinking about it is kind of strange, because her mother had a prosthetic leg too. So I'm thinking diabetes, maybe. But this lady ran to the sheriff's office. Not even the sheriff's office, the city police. Because their grandmother worked for the sheriff's office and everybody would have known who he was. Because I was always up there visiting her with the children. I would always carry the children up there to see her. But, oh my goodness, and they didn't tell me about it until, like, that night. And after that, I had trouble, whenever they would go to their dad's, I would have to leave the house and go somewhere. Okay, guys, I am going to press these and then show you what we got. Well, friends, for the sake of not having a video 2 hours long to have to edit, I have 2 of my blocks completed, pressed out for you there. So, now, are all my points perfect? No. I do not strive for perfection. I strive for satisfaction and done. Insanity. Sanity is very important, guys. So, if you are still here at this point, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. Click on that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing we're doing here on the channel. We do have fun. We do have a lot of sewing going on right now. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys. Happy sewing!